Well, election itself is, I think, is one of the biggest opportunity at the moment because people of Afghanistan are really looking for a very peaceful political transition from current group to the new group. And of course, everybody is looking for a free and fair election, and that's very much important. And third is important how much like opportunity or is given to women to participate in the election is very much important. The most important thing that the women should be aware and they should understand and that their participation is very much important, and especially their demands from the candidates and what will be their commitment if they vote the candidate. That's important because mostly Afghan candidate or presidential candidate, they never talk about women's empowerment and women's inclusion in the system and women's protection. So this is one of the biggest opportunity for we women to prepare ourselves and also to see and visit different candidates and talk about their commitment regarding women's issues and women's empowerment and women's inclusion, especially in the political level and decision-making level, is very, very much essential because even with the current government with more than 1 decade, we have like the only program for women's empowerment, which is the National Action Plan for women's empowerment, and yet to be implemented, and nobody is willing to allocate resources for the implementation of that. So that's very much important, the women's participation and women's demands from the candidate and how they can organize themselves and cast their political and civil rights. Well, our big concern as Afghan citizens is not, I think, peace talk or peace negotiation or Taliban reintegration. It shouldn't be only an issue for Afghan women. I think it's generally important for the people of Afghanistan, especially the new generation, the educated, the moderate, the Democrats. They don't want to go back to their previous life. It's not only women's issue, but generally Afghanistan is very much important. And secondly, peace, we are not against peace and peace talk and peace negotiation because that's what we can get it only through peace and peace negotiation, not through war. But we women, we don't want to lose in the peace. We already lost in the war. And that's most important that we should go or have a peace in the country, but not with any cost. And women's inclusion and women's participation in peace talk is very much essential because this is what's the commitment of the government of Afghanistan. They should fulfill it, and plus the international community, especially the US government and their NAP or the National Action Plan for Peace and Security, they should also fulfill their commitment, especially Afghanistan. In Afghanistan, an implementation of 1325 and their influence on Security Council. That's very much important to make the government of Afghanistan also accountable, and also they should not support any peace process or peace talk if women are excluded or based on a compromise on women's rights issues. So we really need the support of everybody, especially the support of US government, their support, and also to encourage and pressurize the government of Afghanistan also should think about how to bring women also on the peace talk or include them in the peace talk. That's very much essential. So of course we women have a big concern if they once again exclude women from this process or just have a peace without justice and also maybe without a woman's inclusion. That's very much essential for us. Well, in security and political transition, it's both. It's very much essential. We want very peaceful transition. And it's such a transition when everybody should, everybody's rights should be protected. It's not only a woman, but everybody. That's very much important. And even the international community shouldn't just put out their troops without make sure that everybody's right is granted and nobody is excluded from the process, and we want a very inclusive process, whether it's political or this security transition. And that's very much important. And our request or our expectation, especially from the US government, because all their alignment also is very much attached with their decision, or they have like a big influence on other stakeholders, that they should also not forget about the national action plan which they have for peace and security. And Afghanistan also is one of the priority for them. They should also fulfill their promises, and especially they should think how they can implement their national action plan for this peace and security issue, and how they can work with the government of Afghanistan, and also how they can take women's security as one of the indicators for this transition. That's very much important. We don't want to lose more women, because we already lost few women as a advocate, as a politician, as a government employee. They should think about how to provide enough or adequate protection for women. Well, actually, I think women can play the biggest and the most important role in a peace, because the peace will start from the home, from the house, because she is the mentor of her children, and she is the key member of the family, you know. If the way she's dealing with her own children, with her own son and husband, with the community, and in the country level, I think she has the most important role, but nobody noticed actually that. And in the political level, because this is very much important, that the government should not exclude women, but women should be a part of this process, because women have their own experience. Women has a lot to say, because you cannot you cannot bring or reintegrate back to the community while women are not a part of that, because lots of women, they lost their sons, they lost their family member, their husband. If she is not satisfied, if she is not agree for the reintegration of somebody back to the community, I don't think we can really bring like the real peace in our community. Peace process should be really supported by everybody, especially by women as well. And how you can bring peace in a country while you really ignore half of the population, which are women. And women can really even talk with her own sons, they can talk with their own husband. They can be like an agent for peace and positive change in the community. And then tradition-wise, we have a good experience if there is a dispute or a problem, a conflict in the area. Mostly women want to take the message of peace and negotiation, and how settle down the problem or solve the problem. That's women's inclusion absolutely is very important, and she could be like one of the key players for this process.